Hi there. I had a subscriber, well, hopefully they're a subscriber, ask me if I would do a demo, an art demo on doing this. And this is my coaster, and I have a stamp, and I buy these on Amazon. And then these I usually get from Home Depot. So I have one here that I kind of was practicing on, but we'll use this one and I will show you how to do this. Now I have taken these wonderful markers. I love these things. I have tons of them. They are alcohol ink markers, and really even these are alcohol ink markers, if you don't have any of the fancy ones. But I like my fancy ones, and I have chosen a bunch of different colors to use, and these are the colors that I'm using here. And I just, this is for the first layer, and I just covered the whole tile, and I am going to drop alcohol on that. But here I've got my little, this is 99% alcohol, and I am just going to be dropping that on this, and I am going to see what kind of artsy-fartsy. This is just the bottom layer, and we're just going to build layers until I'm happy. And hopefully it'll come out something like this. Maybe not the same colors, but something like that. So see how that sort of moves around, and it does its magic. And I am just making a background base. Sorry, I'm trying to paint and hold the camera at the same time. And I'm painting through the camera lens, so that's crazy. So let me, well, let's see. This is, there's a hair. Where'd that hair go? Yes, I need both hands. I am dropping some drops of alcohol on here. I want to pull some of the paint off. There's a little bit too much ink on there. So I'm just going to use a paper towel, and I'm going to take advantage of the pattern that it has on it. Pattern. How do they say that in with the English accent? Pattern. Anyway, I still don't like it. It just has too much ink. Just want to make it something that I like looking at. I like this red over here, so I'm kind of not touching it on purpose. Now this is just an old bottle of Pantene hairspray that I have made into an alcohol spray. And watch what happens when I spray this. Get you in a good. Look at that. Did you see that? Isn't it awesome? And let me take some of that off. Let me spray again. I let it dry a little bit too much before. kind of losing that red over there, but that's the life of alcohol inks. You know, and I kind of like this. I kind of like this as the background. Okay. Next, I am going to start dropping colors on there. And so I have my palettes, and as you can see, they're quite colorful from past projects. But what's really cool about alcohol inks is that you can let them dry and reactivate them later just by pouring a little bit more alcohol in there. And so I have reactivated some of my color on my palettes, and I am going to start dropping it how I please. I want to see if I like the colors. I'm not loving the colors. Okay, so I have kind of put bunch of other colors in there, and I have made colors now that I am much happier with, and they're starting to kind of coalesce. And I just place the paint wherever I would like, whatever I'm feeling, whatever the vibe is. And if I don't want so much paint of that color, I'll wipe it off. I'll rinse it off in my alcohol. Not water, alcohol. And I'm trying to use quite a lot, actually. And I'd like to cause some chemical reactions. Make some pretty things happening. Alcohol ink is so magical to me. I love doing it because I feel like I'm doing a magic trick most of the time when I'm painting. And of course you can use a brush like I'm doing. But you can also use one of these. I never remember what it's called. That always makes it fun. And I want to put some, where's my alcohol? I want to put some alcohol on that and let that spread. So this was a tile that I had painted on earlier. I was just trying something out. I didn't like it, and I just wiped it off. And now I'm using it for this, and it's really coming out quite nice. Now, one thing that is happening here is my little table in my RV is not level, no matter what I do. Letting that dry. Get my little handy dandy hair dryer that I have taken the brush off and use it solely for my art. I'm going to hold it kind of far away because I don't want to alter that circle. I'd like to maintain that circle. Okay, now that I have got a hard line on the outside, I want to put some alcohol in there. I'm just having a problem with it not being level. So let me put some alcohol in there and use my dryer once again. I'm moving it around. I'm trying to get interesting shapes. Let's see about another color. Green is pretty intense, and I would like to have some blue in that. Honestly, I don't think I like it. So I've got my new base now. It's very pretty. I let it dry, and I've which only takes a couple of moments, a couple of seconds, and made sure all the hair is off of it. With my puppy, I have lots of hair on my art. It drives me nuts. But, okay. Now I am going to start dropping some ink. I'll drop some alcohol. And then I'll drop some ink. And I'm going to blow with a straw. Drop some ink. And put some alcohol. Just a couple of drops. And blow. Put some alcohol in there. I'm just gonna let that sit. Sometimes it's hard for me to find my patience. It's why I do abstract art right there. But I kind of like what it's doing there. I come up more color right in the center there. I'm sorry about the camera. I'm literally holding my camera with the left hand and doing art with the right. It's not the best way to do things. A little bit of ink, a little bit of alcohol, and let them groove together. There comes out the peacock colors that I love so much. And you can see the similarity to the subject. And you can see what I'm doing. It's just different colors, but it's basically what I'm doing. And now I have reactivated some magenta kind of color, and I'm going to put that down. I've also brought out the gold alcohol ink as well. And this stuff, it clumps up, so you have to shake it. I managed to get a ball out of some other paint, something or other, and put it in this just for my gold alcohol ink. Color dropped. Let's put some silver. Silver. It's very clearly gold. Do you see that? Do you see that? See how pretty that is? Oh my god, I just love it. I love alcohol inks. And you're gentle with it. And, you can blow it around. You can use a blow dryer like I do. You can use one of these things. I have learned the name of this thing so many times, and I can never remember it. That's what happens with age, and maybe THC, but who knows? Okay, let's see here. Wow. 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 It's starting to come together, I would say. Let's put some alcohol and just let that sit. Let's do some over here. And searching for the colors underneath. It's almost like stained glass. Okay, if you guys could see this in person, how pretty this is. I don't know if you can actually see how pretty this is. The darn lights and a bad photographer. But, oh, that shows you a little bit how pretty that is. And, that's the deal. And, yeah, and then you finish it. Kmart varnish. So, Jennifer, there you have it. This is the one you asked me to show you how to make. And this is the one I made. I hope that you like this, Miss Jennifer. And thank you. I love your request. You're my very first online request. So, it's a beautiful day in Quartzsite.